Are you feeling dissatisfied and a little bit lost in your life right now? Well, today I want to talk about a key investment kind of strategy or philosophy that a lot of people use that you can actually use in other areas of your life to get more out of your life and actually create the life that you love. So if you are feeling a bit lost and dissatisfied, make sure you watch this video. So when we think about investing, if we go to kind of investing 101, if you watch or read any book or content around investing, there's kind of similar principles that a lot of people will talk around how do you become really good at money and setting up your future in the wisest and best way possible. And one of the key lessons you'll kind of hear a lot from anybody in this area is pay yourself first. And what they'll often recommend is that once you get your paycheck, the most important money you need to do is to put your money aside for yourself. And they often say, make sure you save yourself between 10 to 15% of your income each week for long-term investing. It's not for a holiday that you're going on in 3 months from now. It's not for your next car. It's literally you're putting this money aside to put into investments that will help you set up your future in a really powerful way. And this is a really good strategy to put in place. And it's actually really important that we teach this to young people when they first start working. Because when you first start working, you're kind of suddenly rich because you've gone from being a kid or a student to suddenly having an income. So if you can start instantly saving 10 to 15% of your money there, you already feel rich, but you don't notice what you're losing. Whereas you're adding this later on in life, you feel you're taking a pay cut, even though it's a valuable thing to do. Now, when we talk about this philosophy of pay yourself first, it's obviously a really good idea because it's helping you set up an amazing future version in your life. And when I was thinking about this the other day, I was actually thinking about the rule of 10% and paying yourself first the other day. And I thought, what's really interesting is we should be using this philosophy on time spent on me to develop myself and improve my life in my week. And just before I did this video, I did some calculations. I did some calculations at how many hours do we have in a week. So in a week, we have 168 hours. Now, if we take away a few things, so first of all, we take away the time you spend sleeping. So you spend, let's say we spend about 8 hours in bed a night. So that's about 56 hours of that week gone. The next thing is we all tend to work, well, we don't all, but let's say the average work week is 40 hours a week. So we took away 40 from there. And then we'll say maybe there's 3 hours of life admin and other things that just come from your day each day. So we start with 168, we take away sleep, work, and then kind of life admin and other things. Do you know how many hours in your week you have after this? You have 50 hours a week once we take away all those other components. Now, if we go back to the philosophy of pay yourself first in money, do you think your life would be in a better place if you paid yourself first with time to work on yourself with the rest of those 50 hours? And what I want to introduce to you right now is not the 10% rule of time for me. I want to introduce the 5% rule in time for me. And what I want to kind of throw at you is this concept of I want you to invest 5% of that 50 hours for you doing work on yourself each week. And it's basically about 2.5 hours, isn't it, when we look at it? So 2.5 hours a week where you're going to spend time working on yourself. There's going to be time where you're doing self-reflection, where you're looking about what you need to do next week to make sure you're achieving, to develop pathways moving forward, and so on and so on. I guarantee if you stopped and you just asked yourself some deep questions and you gave yourself a plan and you worked on yourself each week for 2.5 hours a week in your life, you would see massive progress in the most powerful ways in your life. Like if you are in that place where you're dissatisfied and feeling a bit lost, each week you'd be seeing progress and you'd actually see that you're moving towards the pathway that you want to create in your life. So this is the philosophy I wanted to share with you today. We're going to take the money philosophy of putting 10% of your income aside for your future self into the 5% of my own time to actually work on myself this week. Now, this is one of those things that I imagine a lot of people watching this going, that's a really cool idea, but they don't apply. So my challenge to you is to make sure you apply this. You can start off, a really simple way is just to maybe book in 5 20-minute sessions each over the week, or do an hour one day and then an hour another day. Whatever it is, make it work for you. And then start by asking some good questions, try and develop a pathway, and then move down that pathway as you work through each week. I guarantee that if you take on the 5% time for me rule in your week, in your life, no matter where you are right now, in the future, you're going to be in a better place because you're an intelligent person and you can solve big problems. We're just going to make sure we're giving you the time and energy to do it. So again, take on the 5% time for me in my week strategy or philosophy, and you're going to wake up in a pretty amazing place in your future.